Hi, and welcome to Scenario, your partner in mental wellness. Here on our channel, we share educational, insightful, and science-backed content to help you understand your mental health and take meaningful steps toward a more balanced life. If you're ready to learn, grow, and take control of your wellness journey, let's jump right in.
Hey there, and welcome. So today, we're going to tackle a huge problem, one that honestly plagues millions of us, sleeplessness. And we're going to look at a pretty fascinating solution, one that's been around for literally thousands of years, but is making a real comeback in our crazy, fast-paced world. Yep, we're talking about acupuncture.
I mean, it's such a simple question, right? But if you're one of the millions of people who struggle with sleep, you know exactly what this means. It's that deep down exhaustion that just kind of follows you around all day.
And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? That frustration. You're just lying there, staring at the ceiling, watching the clock tick by, knowing you have to get up in a few hours. Your body is screaming for rest, but your mind just won't shut off. And it really does affect everything, right? Your mood, your ability to focus, your entire day can feel ruined before it even starts.
Okay, so let's break this down. What exactly are we up against when we talk about sleeplessness? Let's get a proper definition.
So insomnia. It's not just, one bad night here and there. It can be a short-term thing, what they call acute insomnia, maybe triggered by a stressful week at work. But for a lot of people, it turns into this long-term chronic battle. We're talking months of this, and that's when it starts to have a really serious impact on your overall health. All right, so now that we know the problem, let's talk about a potential solution. What exactly is acupuncture? I mean, how does this ancient practice even fit into our modern world? Okay, so what are we really talking about? At its heart, acupuncture is a form of medicine that's been practiced and refined for, get this, over 2,000 years. And the core idea is actually pretty simple. It's all about helping the body heal itself. By stimulating these super specific points on the body, called acupoints, the goal is to kind of nudge everything back into a natural, healthy balance.
Right, and to understand how it works, you got to know about this key concept in traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM. It's called qi, pronounced qi. The easiest way to think about it is like your body's vital energy or life force. Imagine it flowing through these pathways, almost like electricity running through the wires in your house. According to TCM, when that flow gets blocked or messed up, that's when you get problems like pain, stress, and insomnia. So the whole point of acupuncture is to clear out those blockages and get the energy flowing smoothly again.
Okay, so that's the theory. But here's the million-dollar question, right? How in the world does putting a few tiny needles in your skin actually help you sleep better? It sounds a little strange, I get it. But the way it works is actually pretty fascinating and a lot more straightforward than you might think.
First off, let's talk about stress and anxiety. For so many of us, the reason we can't sleep is that our minds just won't stop racing, right? Well, one of the biggest things acupuncture does is help calm your nervous system down. It's like it turns down the volume on all that mental chatter, which finally gives your body a chance to truly relax.
And get this, it seems to work on a hormonal level too. This part is really cool. Some studies are now suggesting that acupuncture can actually trigger your body to produce more melatonin. And as you probably know, melatonin is our body's natural sleep hormone. So it's basically helping to get your internal clock, your whole sleep-wake cycle, back on track, naturally.
Now this part is absolutely crucial. Think of your body as having two main settings. There's fight or flight, that high-stress, on-alert mode. And then there's rest and digest, which is the calm, healing mode. The problem is a lot of us are stuck in fight or flight all day. What acupuncture does is help flip that switch, shifting you out of that constant state of alert and into the rest and digest state. That's the state you need to be in for deep, restorative sleep. And practitioners even have specific points for this. One is called An, which literally translates to peaceful sleep. How cool is that? And hey, what if it's not stress, but actual pain that's keeping you up at night? Well, acupuncture can help there too. It's been shown to trigger the release of endorphins, and those are your body's own powerful natural painkillers. So by easing that nagging back pain or that arthritis ache, it just removes one more huge roadblock between you and a good night's sleep.
All right, let's get practical. I know what some of you might be thinking. Needles. And yeah, the idea can be a little intimidating. But let's walk through what a session is actually like, because it's probably very different from what you're picturing in your head.
So, here's how it usually goes. First, you'll just have a chat with a practitioner about what's going on. Your sleep, your stress levels, all that stuff. Then, you'll lie down and they'll gently place these super thin needles. We're talking hair thin here. And then, you just chill out.
You just rest quietly for about 20 to 30 minutes. And honestly, a lot of people say it's so relaxing they end up falling asleep right there on the table.
Now, what happens after? Well, everybody's a little different. You might walk out of there feeling incredibly relaxed and sleepy, or you might actually feel kind of energized. As for your sleep, sometimes people notice a huge difference that very first night. For others, it's more of a gradual improvement over a few sessions. So you gotta be a little patient.
Okay, so this all sounds interesting, but the big question is it right for you? How do you know if this is a path you should even think about exploring? Well, this is a pretty great checklist to help you figure that out. Basically, if your trouble sleeping is mostly because of stress or anxiety, or if you're really looking for a natural drug-free way to deal with this, or maybe you've tried other sleep aids and they just haven't worked, then yeah, acupuncture could definitely be something to look into, especially if you like the idea of a more holistic approach to your health.
And it's really interesting to see it laid out side by side with something like sleeping pills. They're just fundamentally different approaches. Sleeping pills are usually a quick fix, right? But they often come with a risk of side effects, maybe dependency, and that groggy feeling the next day. Acupuncture, on the other hand, is trying to treat the root cause of the problem, whether that's stress or pain or something else. The goal isn't just to knock you out, it's to improve your sleep quality for the long haul.
So if you're thinking, okay, maybe I'll give this a shot, finding the right person is absolutely key. You have to make sure they're licensed and certified. Don't be afraid to ask them about their experience with sleep disorders. And of course, check that the clinic is clean and they're using sterile, single-use needles. A good practitioner will create a plan that's personalized just for you.
And that brings us to the big safety question. And the good news is, when it's done by a licensed professional, acupuncture is considered very, very safe. The most common side effect you might see is a little bit of temporary bruising where the needle was. But serious problems? They're extremely rare.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. It's kind of fascinating, isn't it? Could a practice that's been around for over 2,000 years actually be the answer to one of our most modern problems? In our constant search for the next new thing, maybe, just maybe, the best solution has been here all along, just waiting for us to rediscover it. For anyone out there who's struggling night after night, this ancient practice might just be the natural path back to the rest you deserve.
Thank you for watching Scenario. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. For personalized mental wellness supplements, visit scenario.com. See you in the next one.